Welcome, family, to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbee. Please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to our YouTube channel and share this video podcast with your friends. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you do this because we want others to know that we're here. Help make this video go viral by posting it on your Facebook page, your Instagram page, and your Twitter page. This video podcast is available in 3 forms: audio, video, and as a written text in order for us to reach our audience. In order to follow along with my presentation, I strongly recommend everyone on my Facebook friends list to please exchange emails with me so that I can email you everything I do online. Also, I would like for my listeners to follow me on my Medium page. This is where I post my actual speech. I also provide my sources under Show and Prove. I recommend that you watch the video clips I provide to fully understand what's happening in America. I use this platform to interact with everyone on my friends list and everyone in my social groups by giving black business owners free airtime to promote their products and services. I give people in the faith community an opportunity to share the gospel of Jesus Christ, and ordinary law-abiding citizens an opportunity to share their special talents and skills to my listeners from around the globe. After the show, I offer my guest speakers an incentive by teaching them how to create their own podcast and YouTube channel to help them earn extra revenue during COVID-19. I also assist people on my friends list with creating basic websites, finding college scholarships and grants, housing, and legal services, all for free. I would like to personally invite everyone on my friends list and everyone in my social groups to our upcoming Facebook Live event entitled Healing from Willie Lynch for Diaspora and Healing from Colonized Mindset for Continental Africans, Saturday, August 27th at 2 p.m. through 4 p.m. American Central Time, 3 p.m. Canada Time, 8 p.m. West Africa Time, 8 p.m. UK Time, 9 p.m. South Africa Time, 10 p.m. East Africa Time. If you would like to be on my panel, just send me a message to my Facebook inbox for additional information. If you are unable to participate, then please share my Facebook Live event with your friends and leave a public comment about the topic on my YouTube page and on my Facebook page. This will help get the ball rolling. I don't plan on doing this another 30 years. My film project is my last attempt to try to do something positive for my racial group in America. The reason why we are hosting these monthly virtual conferences is to encourage our listeners from around the globe to support our film project. The proceeds from the film will put me in a better position financially to hire qualified black middle class professionals, buy office equipment, and purchase property for our Christian business, Ghettos of Chicago, the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. Eventually, we will launch our African and Caribbean tours so that we can reconnect the diaspora with continental Africans from my African group, Ghettos of Africa. We aim to set up chapters in 10 African nations so that we can host international trade among our people. This will be a win-win for our people who are trapped in American ghettos because we can sell our films, artwork, and music to our brothers and sisters on the continent. In contrast, I will bring the best of the diaspora with me during our African trip to meet African entrepreneurs who will sell their products like beauty supplies, artwork, food, etc. This will also help improve the African economy because black Americans as a collective have $1 trillion spending power. I want to produce things like films and black businesses. I don't want to be online begging for me. I want to exchange something in value. My thing is, if I am going to ask for something, then I am going to have a product or service behind it. I need everyone on my friends list and everyone in my social groups to please donate to our film project, because out of 1,585 people, only 3 people on my Facebook page have donated to our film project, and that's not cool and that's not fair. I'm using GoFundMe as a crowdfunding source so that everyone knows exactly where the funds are going towards. Once we reach 200,000, then we will work on doing the movie trailer. Our goal is to raise 500,000 in order to make a quality black empowerment film based on my revised book, quote, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, 2nd edition. The title of the film is Hood Liberator, Made in Chicago, The War Against Willie Lynch Begins. The sequel, African Liberator, Battle Against the Colonized Mindset, will be made in South Africa. Without support from the black grassroots and the global African family, then I am unable to make my film and do my job. The ball is in their hand. Instructions on how to participate on the show. First, watch my video podcast. This is called Side A. After I finish my presentation, then I will open up the phone lines through Facebook Messenger. This is called Side B. You can interact with me in real time, either by voice call, by clicking on the phone icon, or by video call, by clicking on the camera icon. Today's topic of discussion is as follows. 1. Reclaiming our culture. 2. Black parents filed $25 million lawsuit against Sesame Place after a video of Rosta shunning black children. 50 organizations plan to target black voters. 4. Killing of Nigerian street seller causes outrage in Italy. 5. Famous French restaurant faces investigation after turning away 3 black sisters. And Canada discriminating against African immigrants. And number 6, Julius Malema, South Africa opposition leader, warns of impending uprising. Our first topic, reclaiming our culture. There was a video on Boxden showing a white girl imitating black rappers. Warning, Black America, this is not a laughing matter. I want to make sure that we are clear about the seriousness of this situation. Gentrification is not only limited to our neighborhoods, but also our music and our culture. When you see the dominant culture singing in front of our institutions like Spelman College, which is a metaphor to diss descendants of American slaves and our culture, the best way to handle this is by exposing it and to stop watching HBO Max. Remember, people said the same thing about Cardi B. She's on a local TV station and she has not rap credentials. There's a never-ending stream of imposters that the music industry is using to replace our culture. This is why it's essential for us to build Greater Chicago so that we can guard against culture vultures. On this podcast and in the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago, we want to promote black economic empowerment by teaching our members and students about black entrepreneurship and spiritual development. The mainstream media wants the world to think that the only thing black Americans care about is sports, getting high, and chucking and jiving. For the most part, we have not done an adequate job of protecting and guarding our culture. If we are unwilling to call out individuals who are trying to capitalize off our culture, then that's a problem. This has been the strategy for the music industry since the mid-90s, but no one wanted to hear what I was talking about. We we have to call out the Congressional Black Caucus and ask them why they co-signed for the Asians to get a hate crime bill but not black people. We need to ask them why they did not have to do a study and form a committee before distributing resources to illegal Latino immigrants, LGBT groups, Afghan refugees, and Ukrainian refugees. In Greater Chicago, we will teach our black youth who they are and teach them to respect the struggle our people went through in the United States of America. Black America, hear me loud and clear. We have to create our own economy and form alliances with Africa, the Caribbean, and Brazil if we want to survive in America. Please leave a public comment on my Facebook page and on my YouTube page about the topic. Most of all, share this podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. Our second topic. Black parents file $25 million lawsuit against Sesame Place after video of Rostia shunning black children. There have been many videos that have went viral out of Sesame Place where the cartoon characters would walk right past black children while showing interest to white children. For example, I saw a video of the Rosia character who blatantly ignored the black children while mingling with the white children. To me, it seemed like a pattern of behavior at Sesame Place. This is why, family, it's important for us to get out here and promote that anti-black hate crime bill. This culture, anti-black racism, has to go. If they did something like that to a person from the LGBT group, then the Sesame Place company would have to write a check to some of these LGBT organizations. We have to start stepping up to these corporate entities and demand actions. They take action to all these other groups who have not been aggrieved. The white LGBT community is not aggrieved. They're not being oppressed. Just the fact that they have so many resources given to them from corporations and government structures are all working together in their favor. A black father decided to file a $25 million lawsuit against Sesame Place for racial discrimination. Filing a lawsuit is a start, but this is my issue with black people nowadays. Dr. Martin Luther King gave us a model about how to punish white corporations, and that's through economic boycotts. Today, black people would rather march in the streets instead of doing economic boycotts. Economic boycotts takes discipline. We're not breaking any laws, and the financial elites can't use their military equipment on us. We are actually hurting them where it hurts, and that's in their pockets. The civil rights era have taught us that we can do a protest, but it has to be followed up with action. I suggest that we agree to do a minimum of 2 years practicing an economic boycott. We will stop patronizing Sesame Place. We won't allow our children to watch Sesame Place, and we will do a constant campaign to calling them out as an anti-black racist company. Believe me, this will hurt their brand. If only black America would heed my sound advice, we would advance a lot further. But just marching in these streets, using slogans such as no justice, no peace, but it lacks a plan of action. We have to do this as a collective. That's being on code and practicing group economics in real time. Black Americans are the #1 consumer in America among any other group. This is where our power lies, our black dollars. Anyone who offends the Jewish community, they would need to go visit the Holocaust Museum. They have to speak with the rabbis and go on an apology tour for a whole year. Remember Nick Cannon. If Recover Chicago was up and running, I would advise the black youth to come out of those streets and come over here so that I can tell you how to outsmart your enemies. First, pinpoint all of the businesses in our community that have anti-black racism. We will stop patronizing them for 5 years. This kind of talk scares mega corporations. Black people have to stop being afraid of using your power, which is your black dollar. The best thing we could build in America is a black version of the ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union, supported and funded by the black community. There's no reason for the black people to remain in the same condition that we were during the 90s in 2022 without support from collaborators working with white supremacists. Please leave a public comment on my Facebook page and on my YouTube page about the topic. Most of all, share this podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. Our third topic, 50 organizations plan to target black voters. I found an article in The Root entitled Coalitions Aimed at Increasing Black Voters Turnout for Midterm Beginning This Week, unquote. The Democrats are concerned about these midterm elections. According to the article, it says 50 organizations are joining forces to mobilize black voters for the midterm elections in November. I say, ask those other groups who the Biden administration have given something to, like the Asians. Where is the 50 organization targeting Asian voters? Where is the 50 organization targeting illegal Latino immigrants? Where is the 50 organization targeting the LGBT voters? Where is the 50 organizations targeting Afghan refugees and Ukrainian refugees? When these people approach you about voting, ask them 2 questions. What am I voting for, and what am I going to get out of it? If these candidates can't bring nothing tangible to our community, then what's the point of voting? It's one thing to have a message online, but until what's happening online result in real political consequences, then that's when the establishment will take this serious. If we're not going to get an anti-black hate crime bill and reparations for descendants of American slaves, then we're not voting in the national elections. Locally, we need to be involved with elections for our sheriffs, district attorneys, judges, mayors, school boards, aldermen, and governors. Please leave a public comment on my Facebook page and on my YouTube page about the topic. Most of all, share this podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. Our fourth topic, killing of Nigerian street seller caused outrage in Italy. I found an article from the Guardian entitled, quote, Killing of Nigerian street seller causes outrage in Italy, unquote. In a nutshell, one of our African brothers was beaten to death in broad daylight. What my African immigrant family need to understand that in the West, people, for the most part, won't intervene in fights. Instead, they'll pull out their smartphone and begin recording. I don't understand why Africans travel to these racist countries. It's very unfortunate what happened to this brother. Please leave a public comment on my Facebook page and on my YouTube page about the topic. Most of all, share this podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. Our fifth topic. Famous French restaurant faces investigation after turning away 3 black sisters. This topic is coming from a reporter, Wanzel, from the African Diaspora News Channel. I recommend that you watch the video. I posted on my Facebook, on my Medium transcript under Show and Prove to get a better idea about what happened. In a nutshell, a famous French restaurant faces a discrimination investigation after 3 sisters were denied into the restaurant. Also, Wanzel reports on how Canada has been discriminating against African immigrants. Please leave a public comment on my Facebook page and on my YouTube page about the topic. Most of all, share this podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. Finally, the leader of EFF, Economic Freedom Fighters, Julius Malema, warns of uprising as ANC hold conference. I want people who reside in South Africa to come on the show and let's talk about this. Please leave a public comment on my Facebook page and on my YouTube page about the topic. Most of all, share this podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. Now again, I do these things because I want people that's on my friends list and people that's in my social groups to interact with me and for us to interact with each other. I try to pick out topics from the mainstream media and, apply it to what's going on in, from a black perspective and for us to talk about these issues. That's the best that I can do for right now until I'm able to get the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago up and running. This is the best that I can do. But I don't want to just sit back and be fumbling my thumbs. I want to build things. And I want to connect with our people. And I want to connect with you. Especially those of you who claim to be GRCAM members. It's unfortunate that, I have to be behind a computer, constantly, keep trying to reach out and connect with people and stuff like that. But this is where it's at. And this is just, unfortunately, this is where how things are. But my thing is, I don't want to remain behind a computer. That's why I want to do a film, so that way people will see me in the field. Yes, I am going to hire a production company, but I'm going to be on the ground, and I'm going to make sure that the money that I raise for the film project that is going to go down accordingly. That means, hey, this is my life story as well as GRCAM members. This is our story. And we want to make we want to make this film popping. So that way, when we go to South Africa, it could be well received that we did a good job here. So, I don't want to make a flop. That's how come, again, I want to raise that $500,000, but right now, I want to at least reach $200,000. Something to work with when I go to these production companies. And again, I wouldn't even have to do a film if my revised book was embraced by Black America. But again, unfortunately, a lot of our people don't like to read. That's just how it is. Again, I'm grateful for all of you that have supported the Grassroots Community Activist Movement up to this point. Purchasing my revised book, purchasing the ebook, buying items from our virtual store, being active in in these events that I try to hold. I appreciate that. I don't mean to sound real, angry and mean at you all that's doing what you can. It's just these other people that's just on here looking just to be seen. Lord knows, I'd be glad when I can move from behind this computer so that I never have to see these people that's passive spectators again. Because I want to work with people that want more out of life, and that's real. And we want to get this organization started in Chicago and make Chicago a model. If it was up to me, this organization would expand to 25 other cities within 25 states. But it is what it is. Lord knows, once I'm able to get this organization started in Chicago, I want to make sure that I can earn enough capital from this Christian business so that I can sustain myself when I go to Africa. You know what I'm saying? And be able to hire people when I go over there on the ground. That's all I'm trying to do. I've turned the organization over to qualified black middle class professionals, and it is what it is. But I still want us to have that connection. I want my brothers and sisters that's going to remain here in America to know that, hey, we on the African continent as well. Because I want to spend the rest of my life on the continent working with our African family. Help get Gurkam popping over there in 10 African nations, starting in South Africa. That's all I'm trying to do. And believe me, I want to make sure none of my members will never have to go through this foolishness. We come against this Willie Lynch mentality because this is the main thing that's destroying us as black people. This is destroying our race. And before we can even talk about fighting against white supremacy, we got to deal with that mindset. And that's real. And it's deep because my own family members, a majority of them, they don't care about what I'm trying to do. They used to hound me about trying to get a work full time and all that kind of stuff. I was like, hey, look, I want to work for myself. And so, that this is what this film is going to be about, my experience, so people know that I'm not some dude that's just online just complaining. I want to do something. But I only want to work with people that want more out of life, point blank. And this organization is for our members and our members' children, so it can be passed down. So I am trusting the Spirit of God, that He will give everyone that's on my friends list a heart of flesh. Everyone that's on my friends list, I need you to work with me to turn the vision into a reality. Because yes, I'm willing to keep doing this stuff, these shows, but I'm doing this to let people know that I want to move from behind the computer, and that's real. With that being said, I'm going to open up the phone lines, and people can call in through Facebook Messenger. That's how I'm going to do things. And also, when I do my virtual conferences, I'm going to say my little pep talk first, because I want to, let people understand, where I'm coming from, about the topic and all that stuff. And then I'm going to open it up to our panel. I thank God for those. They're actually contributors of Gracam. So I'm going to let my contributors say their part. And then after that, we're going to open up the phone lines through Facebook Messenger. So that way you can just call in. I have to do it that way because I don't want, it is what it is. I mean, I don't have all that fancy stuff, with Zoom. It doesn't work for me as it pertains to that, the password and all that stuff. They keep changing it. Won't even let me get into my account. I have problems with StreamYard. So I have to use stuff that works for me. So this is where I'm at. And again, I prefer to use Facebook Messenger because you can talk to me and others, in real time. But we might have to just do it on an individual basis. But I want to give everybody a chance to call in, and I'll speak to them and answer their questions to the best of my ability. And that's just how it is until we're able to move this organization from behind the computer. With that being said, phone lines are now open.